because there's no bones over here.
I thought I was going to die at first, and then I realized I wasn't dying, because I thought I got shot in the head. I realized I wasn't dying. I looked, assessed my wounds, and for a split second I thought, damn, both my hands are gone, but it was kind of just a fleeting thought because I realized the severity of my wounds and that I had to do stuff, take action to stop the bleeding and get out of that kill zone that I was stuck in.
The shrapnel hit me right here and it came down in my eye. And I didn't even know it. I thought it didn't hurt. No, it didn't. I didn't even feel it. It felt like, I didn't feel none of it. They just told me I got a little piece of shrapnel up on my brow, like I got a cut. There's just blood coming down my face and my eye was all swollen up. I was asking them over and over again, like, hey, is my eye okay? Is my eye okay? Yeah, it's okay. You look good, man. You look good. You're still pretty. I'm like, man, I'm laying there and he's joking with me. I'm dying. He's joking with me.
I was a saw gunner, so I had 2 saw boxes right here in the front, and my radio here in the back, and canteen and some other gear in here. You can see it's a little bit tore up. Got some little shrapnel holes and stuff, and a lot of my blood. A little piece of plastic jammed in there, and then if you open these up, you can. This one right here. That's got I don't know how it got in there. It's a chunk of skin and a little piece of bone, and so looking at this stuff, you can tell it was pretty. I was a mess. It wasn't looking too pretty.
I'm laying there. I'm going out. O'Connor's trying to pour water down my throat, trying to keep me awake, and I'm breathing real shallow. And Captain Heide keeps telling me, he's like, stay awake. I'm like, I'm tired, and I just kept wanting to go to sleep, and kept waking me up. And I knew nothing about the Kazakhs, if they were coming or not. I didn't know what was going on. All of a sudden, I hear these helos coming out of nowhere. It was a 63. It wasn't even a Black Hawk. It wasn't the medical helo. And they come out of nowhere. And they ended up getting us on the helo, and they were like, we were in the area, we thought we'd pick you up. They intercepted our transmission, and we were radioing the battalion telling them we need help. We didn't pop smoke, we didn't give them the grid, they just landed. So the Marines came out of nowhere and just saved me. So that's why I love the Marine Corps. We take care of our own,
The hardest part, yeah. Being wounded isn't the worst thing that happens, really. What the worst thing that happens is you leave your team. And you gotta remember, the younger you were back in the day, man, you went to boot camp, you joined a unit, and that becomes your best team. Now go to combat with that team. And that's, far and away, that's your team. No joke. When you get wounded, you leave the team. And that's the worst thing.
Took me to Al Assad, they secured me there, and I seen Cordova and I seen Dak there. I guess the Iraqi did it. He was too messed up. I don't know if he made it or not. But from there, they got us stable, and they took us to Germany. And I stayed in Germany for 5 days. So I was basically in just a different state of mind. I was so drugged up. I didn't know what was going on.
I hated the fact that I was back here in the States, and some of my team members were still in Iraq, and my unit was still in Iraq, and knowing that I was never going to be able to operate with them again, that really bothered me, because I really enjoyed my work. But, eventually every Marine has to retire, whether or not it's 20 or 30 years down the road. And it's something that we all have to deal with. But like they say, once a Marine, always a Marine. I don't think it'll ever be out of my system.
I get all these nurses and doctors in here laughing all the time, and the corpsmen, always messing with them. They're like, some of them ask me, like, how do you stay so motivated? How are you so cheery all the time? I'm like, well, I see all the other Marines in here, and I go and talk to them. I got to stay positive for them, too.
The difference is that I got to teach youngsters, young kids, that they're still on a team. It's just a different team. It's a wounded team. And a lot of times you're alone. Some guys some guys get wounded and then go back to their unit. And the best thing in the world is to be in a hospital, and then the day your unit comes back from Iraq, when they come home, you're standing there with them. And that's the best, because you went from, you're back with your group, back with your team.
I knew I wanted to get back to work, so I was lucky enough to be able to come down here and start working again. And that was a big step, moving from that hospital environment back to a normal work environment. And, for everybody it's different, dealing with their wounds or whatever situation they're in. But, I think it's just a matter of getting up and doing it. My goal is to just be, while I'm down here, be a good instructor, and if I can, motivate the Marines around me, as far as like I'm down here at TBS, the basic school, and have the opportunity to speak to officers coming into the Marine Corps, before they hit the fleet, and just relate to them some of my personal experiences with leadership, good and bad, and some of my combat experience and how that leadership played into that. And that I find is more important in the, being down here in this billet, things like that, rather than trying to jump up in the belt system. But that's, if I jump up in the belts, that's good too.
Happens quite a bit. A guy comes to the hospital, Bethesda, Walter Reed, Brooke, and when they leave the hospital, they go home and they're alone. I mean, they're with their mom and dad, but being with them alone, without the Corps, it was very tough even for me. I like to be around Marines. But imagine how tough that is when you're a youngster. When you're 20, you just got in the Corps, so we're really on the one team. And they see some no kid in combat every day. See friends get killed and shot every day, kill bad guys every day. And they're glad to be home, and they're dang lucky to be alive, and they know it, and they feel comfortable with things, but they miss the crew. Then there's guys go to the hospital and then stay there for a long time. Walter Reed guys are there for a year and a half, that to get those legs fixed. It takes a long time. And they feel a crew. See, they're with the Walter Reed crew. It's all important that somebody feels like this, sort of some kind of team, other Marines. It's good to be with guys who are wounded. It's good to share time with guys who are wounded, so that with other guys who suffered the way you suffer.
And some of them are just really messed up. Some of them are, they got brain damage. This one guy, back of his head, it got blown off, and he's got a little brain damage, but he's actually making a lot of progress. But lately, he's been having like flashbacks, and he'll just start yelling and screaming. So one night, they asked me to go in there and talk to him because maybe a fellow Marine might be able to calm him down. So I went in there and I started talking to him while he was screaming, and what really got me, it choked me up, was he's like, is everybody out? Did everybody make it? And I told him, I was like, yeah, we're all here, bud. And then that was all I could say to him, and I had to leave, and that's when I just broke down. I started crying.
I find that most kids who lost an arm or a leg, they wouldn't trade me. It's a joke we always play. Would you trade me my brain for your leg? Kind of trying to make jokes and just chow them. Nobody wants to trade with me. I wouldn't trade with them either. And that's good. See, you see someone who's injured. I see a guy that got whacked, and then you feel like, wow, sheesh, I'm lucky I only took a leg. I didn't get my brain whacked. Or in my case, I met guys who lost a leg and an arm. It's just a talking, we're not complainers. We're not good on being depressed. Marine Corps is not good at, low depression and being comfortable to tell anybody about it. We'd rather take care of it ourselves. The only guy you can really talk to about it is another wounded guy.
As severe as somebody's wounds might seem when they initially get injured, it doesn't mean your life's over. It doesn't mean that you can't continue being a Marine or contributing to the war effort or having a normal life, a girl, and going out with your buddies on the weekends and still being physically active.
I can't stand to see Marines this way, We're not meant to be in the hospital laying up in the bed, Just be out there PTing and, just getting some.
Thank God the Corps keeps the one the guys can stay on duty now, and you find out how you're productive, and the Marine Corps finds a way to make you productive, and you want the guys stay in, and that's our commandant. Someday I'll see him and thank him.
As we move ahead, The Corps and its Marines will no doubt face even more challenges. Tragedy will strike, the country will call, and our Marines will answer. It's the story of our lives. The legacy continues.